What's up guys, today I'm going to tell you about my body transformation using Stronglifts 5x5. So I did go from about 70 kilos to about 87 till 92 kilos in just 2.5 years using Stronglifts 5x5. So I'm going to break it down to how I trained. Obviously I use Stronglifts 5x5, but all about that. Eating, supplements, sleeping, and all of that. So I'm gonna break down all the most important aspects and give you like a broad idea of how I train to gain these results. So guys, let's get going. First and foremost, let's have a look at some images. So as you can see here, this was me when I just started out. So I was super skinny. I was this programmer, World of Warcraft player. I didn't work out very much, so I look like this. As you can see, I'm very also skewered in my body as well, very not tight in that kind of sense. So it was a big mess in terms of my body. I was about, how old was I? I don't even know, maybe 17 years old here, okay? And then I started working out, and as you can see here, I'm gonna show you some transformation images going forward. So this was about 1 year later. And then we're moving forward to 2 years later, and then we're moving forward to about 2.5 to 3 years later. So as you can see, I'm doing immense gains here, not only in terms of strength, but in volume as well. I think that's like one of the best things with Stronglifts 5x5 is that you don't only get fucking strong, which is a good thing. Whatever you're doing in life, you also get quite a fair bit of volume if you're doing the right thing there, eating well and sleeping well and all that. So what do I think is like the most important things here to actually gain these kind of results as well if you're just going into Stronglifts 5x5, which I am assuming you are as you're looking at this body transformation, or maybe you are training and you're not quite sure if your results are, as good as it can be. I'm just going to tell you before that, everyone's body is different, so my results, if you do the very same thing, train the very exact same way I do and eat and sleep and all that, you might not gain as much results, and you might gain much more results. So everyone's body is unique, right? And just a disclaimer here, this is all natural, right? I'm not using any steroids in this kind of sense, then I would probably gain a lot more. But a lot of people are worried about that they can't make any gains without steroids. Of course you can. And that, the image that we just saw would be a living result of that. So, no steroids, eating well, sleeping well, training well, and all that. But first and foremost, you have to be consistent with your training. If you are training 1 week, resting the other, training the other, you're not gonna get good results, man. You're just gonna break it down for yourself. If you want to get big, you have to train right. You have to be there. You can't have those bullshit excuses, You have to be there every single week, going on every single workout and doing your best thing. That's like the best advice for anything. If you want to get rich, start saving money today and do it every day for a long while, right? If you want to get big, go work out. Don't skip your days. Don't get fucking shit-faced and then skip your workout, or, study so much that you can't fit in a 30-minute workout because it doesn't make sense, Do your workout and your whole life will get better. That's my experience. So don't be consistent, don't skip works out. Another thing here is, Stronglifts 5x5 focuses on the big lifts, right? We're focusing on deadlifts, squats, overhead presses, bench presses. But what I've sensed is that a lot of people keep on focusing on these, assistance lifts instead. They're doing their whole sets with, the bench press and all that and the deadlifts. Then they go on and put in more effort on the assistant exercises, which doesn't make sense. I mean, if you are doing this, you should focus on the big lifts. That's where your focus should be. Your assistant exercises, you do them after you're totally wrecked, after doing all of your big lifts. Then you do your assistant exercises, not the whole way around, guys. You start with the big lifts and you do them 100%. And if you have some energy left, you put them on the assistant exercises. You don't take them for granted. Go full on the base lifts, the big lifts. That's where all your gains are. Another thing here is, with the big lifts especially, don't go heavy too fast. The whole thing with this Stronglifts 5x5 is that you start really, really easy. I mean, too easy. You start at a too easy weight. You go there and be like, I'm deadlifting 40 kilos. What is this shit, But if you're starting out, don't go too heavy fast. Don't. It's just a bad idea. Because what happens is that you will plateau too fast and you're gonna be stuck at the same weight for a long while. But if you take your time, do your back lesson, do your lesson here with the technique and get your body ready, get all your you know, muscle fibers and synapses in your brain and neurons to wire together and make yourself stronger. You know, strength is not too much about volume, it's about all the connections between the muscle fibers and our brain's capability to activate all those neurons, or muscle fibers, not neurons. So, you know, you gotta take your time there, otherwise you're gonna plateau too fast and you're probably gonna be like, what is this shitty program? I don't get stronger, I'm just failing at the same weight, I'm not getting anywhere. And that's all your fault, man, because you kind of stress too fast. Don't stress too fast. It's not, you know, the regimes or the workout Stronglifts 5x5 problem that you're plateauing. It's your fault because you're going too fast. That simple. I had a massive issue with this, especially in bench press because I'm very strong there. I would go from about 30 kilos to about 140, I think, 145 kilos in about 3 years in bench press, and then I would plateau heavily, you know. That's my fault because I kept pushing. I didn't take my time there, you know. So we're taking a few steps back as well. If you're hitting that plateau and working your way up again slowly, that's the way to go. Otherwise you're gonna plateau and you're gonna get fucking pissed like I did, and you're gonna be stuck on those weights, which you don't want to be, right? So that's one thing. And another thing that people suck at, in my opinion, is eating shitloads of food. I have a lot of friends, they're working out a lot, but they have a hard time eating. For me, it's very easy. Food for me is fuel for what I'm doing here. It's fuel for my workout, it's fuel for whatever I'm striving to do in life. If you want to get big, you have to have a lot of fuel, right? You're not gonna go into a Jeep with 1 liter of gas and be like, I'm gonna go all the way now. No, you're not. You're gonna come fucking down the hill and then you don't have any gas left. If you want to get big, you have to eat big. Not unnecessarily big, like eating like a lot of crappy shit food and you're just gonna get fat on the way, but you are going to have to eat a lot of food. I had a luxury back then when I was gaining the most. I was still in high school, you know? We had unlimited food. It was the best thing ever, you know? I just went there, had 3 plates of food and I just ate. But it's hard to give recommendations of food, man. Like, it's so individual, but for me, 3.5 to 4K calories a day, that's a good way to go if I want to do a lot of gains, right? That's a good way to go. So for example, for the past few years, I focused on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and not weightlifting. I've maybe lost about 12 kilos. Now starting weightlifting again, I've gained about 5 kilos. And this is not fat in just a short while due to muscle memory. I'm just eating shitloads, lifting really heavily, and my muscle memory takes, you know, part of the rest. And I'm just gaining strength and volume so fast now. You should check that out. Muscle memory is a real thing. You have these permanently stored nuclides in your muscle that help you regain your volume and strength. But that's for another topic. But eat shitloads of food. That's the most important thing, right? If you want to get heavy, you need that fuel to get heavy, lift heavy, get big, okay? You need that fuel. But keep strict, don't go with shitty food. Stay with the good food, right? Okay, it kind of makes sense. I don't even need to say this. Like, don't eat crap if you want to get big. If you want to get big, eat good food, eat a lot of protein, don't get a lot of sugar in you because then you're gonna get fat and not strong, okay? And then with supplements, I would definitely go with creatine. It's like the #1 thing to get more reps out, and it's just a great supplement. So creatine most definitely. I would go with whey protein as well, especially here in Sweden. Protein is kind of expensive, you know, eating a lot of meat, for example. I don't tend to eat too much meat either due to, well, I love animals. But the whey protein is a nice way to chug in some extra protein during the day. I do it quite often. I think it's a really good thing to do. Then you have all the amino acids. I usually use EAA or BCAA, branched chain amino acids, to get some more, you know, get my protein going as well during the day. Just have a sip now and then. It's a really cool thing. What I also like to do is to mix, not too much caffeine nowadays, but back in the days, caffeine and beta-alanine. I don't know if it's called beta-alanine in English, but it's called beta-alanine in Swedish, so I guess it's the same thing here. It will give you this sticky, like all these, you know, feeling when you have a PVO, when you get sticky on your body. You probably want that. And I'm saying this because I really notice a big difference for me in the sense that when I didn't feel like working out, my brain knew that if I get these feelings in my body, you know, like, oh, it's sticking everywhere, then I should go work out. So if I didn't feel like working out, I would chug this drink with caffeine and beta-alanine, and my body would be like, I have to go to the gym now. It's like Pavlov's dogs, right? I kind of trigger my brain to do that. When I get this feeling in my body, you know, in my skin, from the caffeine and from the beta-alanine, I would know it's time for me to hit the gym, so I couldn't have a bullshit excuse. If I did shug that, I knew I could never stay at home or stay away from the gym, okay? So if you're having a hard time going to the gym, you know, every time you go to the gym, shug that down and your brain will make that kind of connection for you, so it's super easy to go work out, because if you don't do that and you have that feeling in your body, you can't do that. Pavlov's dogs, guys, it's basic psychology, it's gonna be dope. So try to do that. If you don't like the feeling, maybe don't then. But it's a good way to get to the gym if you don't feel like it, because you trigger your brain to go to the gym when you feel like that. Most important thing, sleep enough. I've said most important thing to a lot of things now, but all of them are most important things. But sleep enough, guys. When you sleep is when you gain muscles. It's not when you go to the gym and lift your deadlifts. That's when you break your muscles down. What you have to do is you have to get all the fuel with all the food in your body and get it up again. Then you have to get that sleep and rest and rebuild your muscles. You're breaking them down when you're lifting heavily. You're breaking them down to eat and sleep well, to rebuild them stronger than ever before. That's it. You sleep, and that's when you build muscles. You don't build muscles at the gym, you break them down at the gym. You build them when you sleep. So sleep. People sleep too little. I've read like the average American sleeps 6 hours a day. You watch TV for 5 hours a day, skip 1 or 2 hours of TV and then go and sleep that time instead. You're probably gonna have more gains. I'm just assuming here that you people who actually want to go do Stronglifts at the gym, you don't sleep, don't watch that much TV, but you probably have a bit time that you can spend on sleeping instead, so you can rebuild yourself and gain more muscles. That's it, guys. It's a lot of tips in this video. Most of them should be kind of straightforward. It's always good to hear them once again, especially sleeping and eating, guys. It's so important, so incredibly important. You've seen my gains here. Now it's all time for you to go and get that very same gains, and hopefully even better gains. I did so many mistakes. I wished I had this video for me when I started, but back then, people didn't work out. Going to the gym is kind of a new thing here in Sweden, at least. Back then it was me and some old people at the gym. So for me, this is the video I would have required or would like to have had when I started. So hopefully those advice could be good on you. So now go hit it, guys. I want to know about your gains. If you like this, all the tips here or things that I found useful and they make you gain even more, let me know. I want to hear about your gains, guys. So do that. Let me know if you have any questions. Just bring them on.